Welcome between these hallowed hedges. Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia, home to the Georgia Bulldogs. They've had a little chicken, they've had a little drink, and friends, it's time once again to let the big dogs eat. There's nothing quite like a great rivalry matchup in college football. The bitterness, the intensity, the lifetime of memories that will come as a result of what we're about to see in this one. Auburn will kick off to get us underway. Coming out with it, it's Frazier. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Bulldogs offense will get the first swing of the game. This rivalry is intense, guys, but with all of the connections between the two, it's more like a family feud more so than a bitter war.
And for example, about the connections, Reese, how about Vince Dooley, longtime Georgia coach? He went to Auburn. How about great player Pat Dye, All-American at Georgia? Coaches at Auburn, the connections are real, the rivalry is real.
They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And he left the first defender grabbing at air before he was finally tackled.
It's a good-looking run, and I'll say this. I know Georgia's always been known to run the football. They always want to be really physical, but it starts up front. They always seem to have great units on the offensive line, guys that communicate and guys that get pushed. And they've put many running backs into the NFL, but it's because of these big old hog mollies up front.
And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain. A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on second down. Looking to throw, it's Beck. Fires to the big fella. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. And the Bulldogs come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll throw it on first down. Got his man downfield. All kinds of running room. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs! You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game, get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So Auburn's offense will get the ball for the first time. One matchup to watch in this one is how well do the backers tackle in space, David.
Yeah, and you've got to have great linebackers to get this guy on the ground, and they've got it. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, a lot of head-to-head battles, linebacker versus running back.
Yeah, tackling him in space, but also covering him out of the backfield. These two dudes are going to be shadowing each other all game long.
You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
Might as well give it to him again. Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Looking for room, it's Hunter. And he'll be taken down, but he does have enough for the first down. There's a rich tradition of running the football at Auburn from James Brooks, Joe Cribbs, Bo Jackson, Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown, they love to find a tough running back to feed the rock.
Such great history, such great lineage of ground and pound and great athletes, and it's just a physical mindset of Auburn, and they're always that team that wants to run the football.
Didn't connect last time. Let's see if they throw it again on second down. They've got the screen set up. Turns it on in midfield. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. New set of downs after that completion. White wants to throw it. Floating away. Bought a little time, lets it go. He's right on target. They've really performed at an elite level in conference play, and that'll build your confidence as we continue through this SEC season.
This was a team that was really motivated in the offseason coming into this one, and they knew the challenge ahead of them, but they also know how
just broke the tackle and still on his feet. Just carving up this defense and getting it down to the 24.
Look at the big fella doing work in the secondary, the big tight end. Catching the ball, and he's just shooing these little DBs away. Get off me.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. There to stop him after a pickup of 1 to the 22.
I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
On 3rd down, going up top. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. And now on 4th down, they'll try a field goal. Visualizing the right ball flight from 39 yards out in the right hash. Good right down the boulevard. So after putting 3 on the board, the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away. And he'll bring it back. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
The Bulldogs pulled one out of the fire and beat Auburn in a close one the last time these two met.
Yeah, it was a really good one in the Deep South Oldest Rattle. We've seen so many great games in this matchup, and that was one of them. But Georgia came away with it, and Auburn got to think about that for a whole year.
He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
Fires to the big fella. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. The biggest key there is the quarterback understanding that A, it's zone, but B, what kind of zone is it? Is it one high safety? Is it two high safeties? And then you know instinctively where your best throw, where your highest percentage completion is based on what type of zone coverage it's going to be.
And after the incompletion on first down, this offense looking at second down. He wants to throw it again. That's caught. It's Lovett.
Hey, listen, on offense, just take what the defense gives you. Quarterback looks out wide. He sees the DB way off the receiver. Throw him the easy hitch pass. He'll take that completion.
As they come to the line on 3rd and short from the 43, I wonder if they already know they'll go for it if they don't make it here. They'll try to run for it. At the 45 on its way. And he found all kinds of room and got it down to the 28.
And that's a great sign for this offense because this year we know there's been a little bit of inconsistency, and I think the biggest problem has been third down. Right there, nice job executing, running the ball, picking up the first, and keeping this drive alive.
Grabs over the middle. It's dealt. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's first and goal from the 7.
My goodness, this offense has got it rolling. They might put up a 50-burger. This defense, they don't have any answers right now. They're going to just figure something out.
The Bulldogs trying to pay off the threat on first and goal. Well, guys, it's Georgia holding the lead at the end of the quarter. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. They'll try to open the quarter by cashing in on this big opportunity deep in the red zone. They'll use the running game on first and goal. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2.
And this is the area of the field where you need a really good back. You can depend on, you can give him the football. He's going to hit a little crease and just lower his shoulder, be physical, be powerful. You saw last week he got a rushing touchdown. And look for this offense to continue to feed him and maybe get him another one today.
Well, that last incompletion is a good example of why your timing has to be so good as a quarterback, because the windows, they open and they close so quickly in this part of the field.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster.
Well, on third and short and field goal range, they dial up the pass play. Quarterback was trying to get through his progressions. There was just simply nobody open. Couldn't make an accurate enough throw. Ball falls incomplete. Now setting up a big decision here on fourth down.
This is a really big play for both teams. Fourth and goal from the 2. Looking to throw, it's back. He snares it in the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play just like he did right there for 6 points.
And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. It's always great to get points on a drive, but it would behoove them to try to get a touchdown this time around, Palmer.
They may have to get out of their comfort zone here too, David, a little bit, and just start being more aggressive and take some chances, but that's what's going to happen for them to win this game.
Yeah, and when you're losing, obviously everything gets heightened. Everything becomes more critical. This drive is crucial because you've got to cut into this deficit and put some points on the board.
Got it set up on the outside. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back. They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a first down. They'll run it from the gun. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Guys, only Minnesota and Wisconsin have played more often than Auburn and Georgia. This rivalry is rich in tradition.
And you're right, Reese. This goes back to 1892. A long time. This game has been heated. You know a bunch of the names, a bunch of the storylines. And speaking of storylines, how about the mascot for Georgia? Literally trying to bite on Auburn wide receiver. That's how real this rivalry is.
Looks as if Auburn will have enough for the first down.
Nice job by this offense converting the third down. Listen, third and short, they know you're going to run the football, and they still did a great job being physical. Third downs has been such a struggle for this offense. Bottom 50, one of the worst in college football. Nice job on that play.
All right, that's a good result for the defense. We knew coming into this year they wanted to really improve their pass defense and their secondary and coverage. Nice job there.
And they pick up just one. It'll be 3rd and 9.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays. But sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well. But if you continue to run it.
And they got him for the sack.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys in a coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
And he is knocked down immediately.